Yo, what is good, No Fear fans? Y'all, I'm back at y'all, man, with another video. I want to take this time to say, if you are a new viewer, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. All right, y'all, let's get into this one. Let's get in. So today, for what I got for y'all is a part two of these underrated fire films that I did part one on last time. So last time y'all saw me. So I got another set of just underrated films, man. I think that should be talked about and viewed a little bit more. So let's just get straight into it. So first, number one, what I got for y'all is a film called Waves. This is an A24 film. Is a 2019 A24 American psychological drama film, written, produced, and directed by Trey Edward Schultz. So this film right here, man, is really good. The cast is really good. Taylor Russell stars in this film. Kelvin Harrison. I didn't even know who this actor was until this film, and he dominated this role. Sterling K. Brown. He's in this film. Everybody knows how great he is. So Waves, a 2019 American psychological drama film. This film right here it's pretty much, to get into the description, is about, it traces the emotional journey of a suburb, Black American family, as they navigate through love, forgiveness, and, coming together and stuff like that, a tragic loss and, all that other type of stuff. The first part of the movie kind of focuses on, Tyler, played by Kelvin Harrison. He, has a girlfriend, played by Alexa Demi. So they're in a relationship, and they're going through their little struggles and stuff like that. Tyler, played by Kevin Harrison, he's this he's like this wrestler star in high school. He is battling that while trying to like impress, keep his dad happy. Played by Sterling Brown. He plays like that, that kind of raised my son really, tough for the outside world. I'm on him. Nothing's going to be easy out there once you get out there on your own. And, I kind of like how he, I like him being a father in this film, like how he does it. I like that. Like, you got to be, I feel like you got to be like that, and there's just a lot of things that, Tyler is just battling through this film, through the first part of this film. And he's battling, trying to impress his dad, his girlfriend. He's has an injury he doesn't tell anybody about. And, this injury is getting really serious. While dealing with that, he starts to get on drugs once he finds out his girlfriend is pregnant, and stuff like that. And, it's really just a lot on his plate, and he is just taking it. He's kind of grieving and going about it the wrong way. He starts to drink a lot. He starts to take, hardcore drugs. He starts to, take crazy painkillers, to basically almost overdosing himself over on painkillers and a lot of other stuff. And he's just really battling a lot. And to get towards the middle of the film, him and his girlfriend have a fight, about the kid and stuff like that, whether they want to keep it, get rid of it. Next thing you know, they get into a fight over the phone. The girlfriend pretty much just hangs up on him and stuff like that, and it's just, and he goes crazy mode, like not crazy like physical, like he's not taking it well, and she kind of just blocks him, which I think was wrong. You don't do that and this type of stuff, in that type of situation when they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to handle, this kid and stuff like that they have coming. And he ends up, doing something that it was an accident. I'm not gonna get too deep into it. But it's a real tragic thing that happens in the first part of this film, and Tyler's story. And he ends up, doing something really tragic. He ends up going to prison for a hell of a long time. I don't think it was deserving. It was a big accident. They both was in a fight, cussing at each other and all that other stuff. It was a real toxic. Towards the end of the relationship was getting really toxic, and it was a big accident. Like, on the outside looking in, seeing what happens, it was an accident. But if this is real life and you don't see what happens, okay, he looked real guilty, but I don't think he deserved what happened, like that crazy amount of time. But then then this movie shifts. Like, it shifts to Emily, played by Taylor Russell. It shifts to her story and stuff like that. And her story is very interesting. She meets this boy, and the first part of the film, she's kind of like in the shadow and stuff like that. You really don't see too much, on what's going on with her, how she's feeling about things, her mindset, how's her days going at school, et cetera, et cetera. So, the second part of this film is kind of shifted on her. And I got to say, the music in this film is very fire, very fire. I love the music in this film. The color grading is very great in this film. Everything about, pretty much everything about this film is really great. She ends up meeting this, in my opinion, cringy kid, but they end up being in a relationship and stuff like that. She, the dad and the mom and stuff like that. The dad ends up coming to her, apologizing for a lot of things he felt like he did wrong as a father, et cetera, et cetera. So, like I said, this film is really, really underrated. It is very great. I love this film. Everything about it, from the sound, music, the actors, the acting in this film is very, very intense and very good. Everybody does a great job in this film. I got no complaints about this movie. So that's my number one, y'all. A24 film, Waves. Check this film out. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee you that. Very, very good film. All right. No Fear fans, I want to take this time. If you are viewing, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Number two on the list is, I got a film called House of Nine. Now, this film is very underrated. Very underrated. I never heard nobody talk about this film. I've seen this film a long time ago. I know it was at my Uncle Jerry's house. Rest in peace to my Uncle Jerry, who I watched this film at his house with my older sister. I know my older sister probably won't remember this, but I remember watching this film at their house. House of Nine, a 2004 psychological horror film directed by Stephen Monroe and starring Dennis Hopper and Kelly Brook. This film right here is very intense. It follows 9 strangers who have been abducted and locked inside a house. They're drugged and they're kidnapped, and they end up being put inside this house. A mysterious, kind of recorded voice called the Watcher tells them over like an intercom, that they're being forced to play a game. The last person alive can leave the house and win $5 million. That's the plot of this film. There's 9 people, 9 strangers in a house, and they're being forced to play a game. The last person alive wins $5 million. There's a crazy twist to this film in the end. I love the twist in the end of this film. And yeah, obviously, man, but in my opinion, everybody in this film kind of stupid, because you got kidnapped, you got drugged and kidnapped, and you got forcefully, put in a house with people you don't even know. And over intercom, they say you have to kill one another, and they don't take it seriously, obviously. they're like pretty much, you know, they don't take it too seriously. They don't take it seriously enough, in my opinion. And it's like, yo, all right, I wouldn't have wasted no time. You know, I got no choice. I got no choice here. So, you know, they end up not kind of taking it seriously. They end up doing some, they end up drinking, they end up partying, having a dance party. It's like, man, what is y'all doing? They bring, they're, my bad, they're being watched on camera and all that type of stuff. So it's a very intense film. I like these type of films like this. You know, it's very, you know, catching to the eye. But House of Nine, I love this movie. I love everything about it. I've never gotten tired of watching this movie. I've been watching this since, you know, elementary school, damn near, or middle school, or something like that. One of those. Check this film out. So, House of Nine is very underrated. Never heard nobody talk about this film or nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, House of Nine. Please check this film out. You won't be disappointed. All right, y'all. Moving on. What is this? Oh, number three on the list. All right. I got a film called Brotherhood, 2010 film. Brotherhood. This is a very underrated film as well. Like, I've never heard nobody talk about this film. I have no idea how I got into watching this film, but when I watched it, it was very good all the way. Like nothing about this film was not good. Brotherhood, 2010 American thriller film, you know, directed by Will Cannon. Have no idea who that is. I have to do some research on him. This film is pretty much about a fraternity initiation that goes just horribly wrong. You got this frat house, these college kids who pretty much, you know, they're pledging to get inside. You know, y'all know how college frat houses and stuff like that goes, pledging, doing crazy pranks and stuff like that. This film pretty much it goes towards, like, you know, you got these kids who are trying to pledge and get inside, you know, get in, and the prank just pretty much goes horribly wrong. The prank is they pretty much got to man up and act like they're robbing a gas station, but they're not really robbing it. They're parked around the corner and they got to get out and go and get a bag. They got to come back with a bag of money. But the trick is there's a guy waiting outside from the frat house saying, hey, all right, you had the balls to at least get out and attempt. So here's the bag, go back to the truck, and boom. Now, it goes horribly wrong in the middle of this because they end up going to the wrong gas station. And one of the guys that gets out, he actually ends up trying to rob the gas station. And everything from then on goes horribly wrong. They end up, you know, they end up kidnapping one of the gas station, like, clerk guy. Everything, man, just goes. Everything about this film is intense. One of the frat house guys that's trying to get inside, the college, you know, the group who's pledging. He ends up getting shot, man, bleeding everywhere, about ready to die because all the blood he starts to lose. Man, everything just goes horribly wrong, and they keep getting themselves in deeper and deeper and deeper into more trouble. And it's very intense. It's very intense. This film is so underrated. I love everything about this film. Check this film out, y'all. Promise you will not be disappointed. Brotherhood, 2010. Love this film. Please check it out. No Fear fans. Everybody, please check this film out. All right. That is number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, No Fear fans, I want to take this time to say, if you are a new viewer, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. Next up, number 4 on the list. Oh, I love this film. I got a movie called Trespass. 1990, came out in 1992. Trespass is a 1992 American crime thriller film, directed by Walter Hill. Man, okay. Now, everything about this film is really, really, really good. Now, I'm going to start with the cast. Now, the cast in this film is very fire. You got You got Bill Payton. You got Ice T. You got Ice Cube in this film. You got William Staber, if I'm not pronouncing his name correct. Oh, my bad. You got let me start over. You got Bill Paxton, Ice T, Williams Sadler. Sorry, yeah, I said it wrong. Then you got Ice Cube. You got Art Evans in this film. You got a lot of other people in this film. A lot of just underrated, actors you've seen in a lot of other, fire films. This film right here, man, is about two firemen who decide to search an abandoned building for hidden treasure, gold to be exact. But wind up being targeted by a street gang slash mob or whatever you want to call it, business group or whatever, led by Ice T. And everything from there just goes completely wrong. They end up trying to find these two firemen. They're going to travel to this this old church, abandoned church or whatever building, and they end up reading in the paper that it has gold, it has treasure there that that can help them with their financial situation. One of them has a crazy mortgage, and stuff like that. Their job ain't paying them really shit for what their lifestyle, etc. And one of them is really more desperate than the other. Obviously, you can tell throughout this film. One of them is just not caring about their life. They're caring about this treasure that they're trying to find, and it's very intense. It's crazy. This film is crazy. The cast is really good. The acting is really good. Ice Cube, he plays one of the main kind of guys under Ice T. Ice T's the boss, and Ice Cube plays that hothead guy, that guy that doesn't listen, when Ice T gives a command, all that other stuff. Ice Cube, he kind of just lollygags and does it in his own way. He don't listen at all. He's that, that hothead dude. You can't tell nothing. They bump heads in this film a little bit and stuff like that. And everything about this film is very good. No dry moments at all. It's just a big misunderstanding that happens in this film, especially in the end. Everything. This film got some crazy, funny comedy in it. You got Tiny also in this film. Debo played in Friday. He's in this film. A lot about this film is really good. I love this film. Very, very interesting from the beginning to end. You gonna love this film. Ever since you see once you see Ice T on screen, boom, it's very good, no complaints. But everything just goes completely wrong once they go to this place and try to look for this gold, this treasure, and you got two sides, just wondering what the hell is going on. Ice T wondering what the hell is going on. What are y'all doing here? This is our territory, etc., etc. These two firemen, they're pretty much not trying to give them the real answer that they're there, obviously, because they're gonna get killed and they're just gonna, be left out of what they're trying to look for, and everything just goes completely wrong. So for damn near both sides. So Trespass, please watch this film. You will not be disappointed by this film. Once again, you will not be disappointed. That is number 4 on my list. Now, number 5. Here we go. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5. I want to take this time to say, please hit that like, comment, subscribe, share. Number 5 on the list, a film called Judgment Night. I love this film so much. Judgment Night is a 1993 American crime thriller film directed by Stephen Hopkins. Starring Emilio Estevez, Cuban Gooding Jr., and Jeremy Piven, and Stephen Dorff. They all star as a group of friends who are pretty much, they rent out this cabin kind of, or my bad, trailer. I say cabin. they rent out this trailer to go, end up, they're trying to go see a fight and stuff like that. They're pretty much, trying to have a good time, go out, see a fight. They all haven't hung out in a long time, it seems like, from when this film starts. One of them rents out this, this trailer. It's a real nice trailer. They drive out and, they're trying to go see a fight and stuff like that, have a good time, etc. And these friends, they end up getting lost. They end up being on the run from a gang of drug dealers led by Dennis Leary. He's very good, as most of y'all know. After they witness a murder by him, they end up taking the wrong turn. They end up in the middle of this really dark neighborhood that you can't see nothing. The streetlights don't even work. Really poor, dark neighborhood. The streetlights don't even work. They just end up in the wrong area. All right, just talk about bad timing. And they end up witnessing a murder. And they're pretty much, this film is about them just on the run the whole time. The whole time they are on the run. And nothing goes well pretty much for them. And they end up losing the trailer and all that other stuff, man. And next thing you know, man, man, a lot of stupidity just happens in this film from a lot of them. And this film is just about them, on the run the whole time. They're trying to get away from these drug guys, who are chasing after them because they're a witness. They saw what happened. One of them ended up dropping a wallet, and next thing you know, they end up the drug dealer guys end up finding it, and they end up pretty much blackmailing them. Say, hey, we know where you live, we know your kids, we know your wife, we got your address, etc., etc. If you don't show your face, hey, we're gonna pay him a visit. So, and everything just goes completely wrong with these, with them being on the run. And I like everything about this film as well. This is a kind of popular film, but like I've said a lot, like, about all these films, like most of these films, I never seen, like, I know a lot of people, who watch film a lot. Never heard nobody bring this film up. I love this film, Judgment Night, 1993. Check it out. Cast is great. Acting's great. The plot is great. It's delivered great. Everything is great about this movie. Got no complaints. So, ladies and gentlemen, No Fear fans, Judgment Night, check it out. That ends this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it. I will see y'all next time. Part 3. Stay tuned. Coming real soon.